Hey, how's it going, beautiful people? Welcome back to Animal Tales, and today we're about to talk about a very interesting insect a lot of you don't know a lot about. We're obviously talking about the murder hornet. I really don't like that name, but it's a name that was coined right here in North America. But it's actually commonly known as the giant hornet or the Japanese giant hornet. And the reason I say a lot of people don't know about it is because most of us don't come into contact with the giant hornet. So you don't necessarily know a lot about it or can become aware about it, but funny enough, if you live in North America, now you actually might become aware of it because there's an invasion happening, and we're about to talk about it in a minute. But anyway, so the giant hornet is a type of wasp. Now, a lot of us have encountered different wasps. You walk outside of your door, you'll see a wasp nest at the top. They're not harmless, but they're not exactly dangerous. They will not attack you unless you attack them. So you've encountered wasps, like the yellow jackets that you encounter a lot of times in the summer. They like to burrow, underneath your lawn. So if you're mowing your lawn, you might encounter them. They're very aggressive. They will attack you, so be careful. A lot of you have encountered bees. Bees are not wasps, but you've encountered bees. You see them foraging in your flowers right outside. Not necessarily dangerous unless you mess with their colony. They will attack you. They will defend themselves. But for the most part, you've never really encountered giant hornets, and for most of you, be glad you have it. Now, they reside in a certain part of the world, in Southeast Asia, and primarily areas close to Japan. And that's a good thing because these things are very massive. They're big. I mean, you can see the picture right here compared to a regular wasp and a giant hornet. Also, if you see the arm, you see it compared to someone's arm. It's very big. It's almost as big as your index finger. That's how big it is. He has a huge stinger, and its stinger is very painful. Very painful. It has incredible venom. And some people have actually described the kind of like what you go through when it stings you. It's kind of like having acid underneath your skin, and it almost eats your skin. It is incredibly painful. It might not kill you. One hornet might not kill you, but a bunch of them will definitely kill you. Now, obviously, if you are allergic to the kind of venom that it gives out, then you will obviously have an allergic reaction. But for the most part, one will not kill you. Several will. And it doesn't take 100 of them. It might just take 5 of them because they're very aggressive. They defend themselves, and they defend themselves very well. I mean, as a matter of fact, you're about to see a video of how crazy, not only how big these things are, but at the same time, this video will show you these guys who are trying to remove them. And from the audio, you can just tell not only how big they are from the noise the wings make, but you can see it also. And you can just pay attention to the suit that these guys are wearing. It tells you something. I mean, the first time I saw this thing, I saw the suit and I was like, the last time I saw people wear those kinds of suits, they were the kind of people who defuse bombs. That's the amount of protection you need to deal with these things. Just take a look at this. I want you guys to watch how fast these things come out to defend themselves. Listen to the noise. They sound like helicopters. Just watch this. Look at that. All he did was tap. Look at that. Tell me that is not horrifying. Look at them. Next to rocks. They're as big as those rocks. Again, the reason they have to move them, not necessarily move them, they actually have to destroy them. They have to destroy that nest. It's because these hornets are dangerously close to people. And trust me when I tell you, you don't want these things anywhere near people because they will absolutely hurt people. So unfortunately, for this nest, they will have to destroy it, capture, kill all those hornets, especially capture a bunch of queens, kill them, in order for them not to spread and grow. That's essentially what they're trying to do.
Got it that time, moment.
Look at the level of protection he has to have. Jesus. I wouldn't be caught dead doing this.
Wow.
Now, from that video, obviously the first thing you saw was, number one, these guys are heavily protected. Now, for me, I keep bees. And I wear a bee suit when I'm handling bees. But let me tell you something. There's no way in hell you can wear a regular bee suit and try to deal with these things. They will absolutely destroy that suit. You have to wear like a military type grade suit. I mean, you just saw it. Because not only do they have a huge stinger. Now, if you know anything about wasps, wasps can sting repeatedly. Now, bees sting you and die. Wasps can continue stinging you. Not only do they have a huge stinger, but they also have huge mandibles. So they can chew into a lot of things. As a matter of fact, I'll show another video of these things attacking a colony of bees, actually. And they absolutely decimated a lot of them. And this was like, I remember watching the movie 300, A Few Against Many. A few giant hornets absolutely massacred a whole colony of bees. And it is so sad to watch as a beekeeper. Few of them absolutely destroyed a whole colony, thousands of them, thousands of bees absolutely destroyed in a matter of minutes. And we're about to watch that video because, again, it's very fascinating and interesting to see. These things are that bold. These things are that aggressive, and they have no fear at all. And all it takes is one scout, one giant hornet scout, finding a colony of bees, setting a trap. Basically spreading the pheromones, attracting its fellow giant hornets. And when I tell you, when these things show up, they destroy a colony, that's exactly what they do. Now just watch this and you tell me what you think.
Just one of these hornets can kill over 300 honeybees in an hour. The honeybees instinctively defend their hive, but they are no match against a giant 5 times their size. Within hours, the small troop of giant wasps slaughters almost 30,000 bees. Decimating the entire colony. The wasps return to their hive with their spoils, valuable protein for the next generation of these killer insects.
Now, from that video, I mean, again, I feel sad watching this because, you know, as a beekeeper, you love your honeybees. You do. But it's also, again, for me as an animal lover, I find it fascinating that this creature, this giant hornet, with a few of its friends, can absolutely destroy a colony. Now, if you know anything about bees, especially very aggressive bees, it's very, very hard because they swarm and they absolutely protect themselves and defend themselves against anything. And you would assume that, you know, after watching this video, that bees don't have a natural defense against such, you know, such crazy, such aggressive intruders. But thanks to evolution, certain bees have figured out a way to protect themselves. And it's one of the most ingenious defensive schemes you will ever see, because I mean, don't take my word for it. Just watch how these bees figure how, or just watch these bees. And these particular, again, not most bees. Now, these particular bees figured out a way to protect themselves. Now, again, you have bees all over the world. Not all bees know how to protect themselves just like this, because obviously not all bees have encountered giant hornets. But these particular bees figured out a way to defend themselves. And again, this is a pretty interesting video. And I'll tell you, when you see it, you can't unsee it, because if you're like me, it will absolutely blow your mind. Just take a look at this video.
In the search for autumnal food, a scout hornet discovers Yamaguchi's wild bees. The honeybees fan an alarm pheromone through the air. This alerts the whole hive to the hornet's presence. The scout smells the honey within. A prize this rich is worth scent marking.
Look at the size of this thing.
But unlike the European bees, these Japanese bees do not attack. Instead, they lure the scout inside.
We want you inside.
Still, bees hang fire. Then one is caught. It's the signal the others have been waiting for.
You dead now, buddy.
Surrounded by vibrating bodies, the hornet at the core of the bee ball begins to overheat.
No escape here.
The bees have the advantage, a heat tolerance 2 degrees above that of their enemy. At 46 degrees Celsius, the aggressor is roasted alive.
Evolution.
The wild bees have spent millions of years living with the enemy. That's why they alone have developed this extraordinary survival strategy.
Now you tell me if that was not fun. I remember watching that video, and I think it was one of the proudest moments I had, because I remember, and this was after watching the giant hornets absolutely destroy a colony of bees. And I was like, I don't know how you defend yourself against this, because if thousands of bees can't defend themselves against a handful of giant hornets, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, and then I saw this video. And to me, this is why evolution is such an amazing thing, because these bees evolved. Again, it wasn't always like this, but these bees evolved, and they evolved a way to defend themselves. And this is a natural phenomena that was just recently photographed or basically videoed, right? And because for a long time, people didn't think that bees could defend themselves against giant hornets, right? And at the same time, a lot of people didn't know that giant hornets would actually attack colonies of bees. Not until beekeepers, right? Not until beekeepers in Japan and certain parts of Southeast Asia started really paying attention, and some of them came across this natural phenomena, recorded it for all of us to see, and it is absolutely outstanding. So anyway, you know, that to me tells you something about the natural world when it comes to animals, when it comes to insects. Yeah, don't count them out so fast. But, you know, giant hornets to me are interesting. Now, obviously, if you're seeing this video, I mean, hopefully this creates a lot of curiosity and interest. You can do your own research, go watch videos. I mean, you'll find absolutely a ton of information out there about giant hornets. Now, if you live in an area where you'll probably never encounter them, it's good information to know, but it might not be as interesting to you because there's no way you'll encounter these incredible creatures. But we always thought that they would actually stay in their particular side of the world, but not true. Some of them made their way into North America. And when I tell you, either it was knowingly or unknowingly, I tend to feel like somebody did it on purpose. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the world we live in. But let me tell you something. You do not want the giant hornet to become an invasive species, because ask anybody who lives in Florida what happens when you allow species from different parts of the world to run loose, to run rampant. I mean, you go to Florida, you'll see iguanas everywhere that are not natural, that are not normal. You know what I mean? It's not normal to see iguanas in the ecosystem that they have in Florida. Same thing with pythons. You have an incredible number of pythons just running rampant in Florida that decimated a lot of animals that are naturally found in Florida. Trust me. And when this little insect found its way into North America, it started spreading. I mean, don't take my word for it. Just watch this video. And I'm telling you, if you live, especially in the Northwest, you've heard this, you know this. And trust me, it's about to be a problem if they don't figure out a way to destroy them. And just watch.
Got him! Another Asian giant hornet's nest was found and eradicated in Washington state. It's the first one to be found this year, and officials say the hornets were not happy to see them.
I will say this nest was a little more aggressive than the nest we encountered in 2020.
Last year, the first nest of this invasive species, nicknamed the murder hornet, was found in October.
Look at
But
them.
officials with the WSDA say the second nest was 3 times bigger, and these bugs were ready to defend their home.
Upon starting our vacuuming, unfortunately, because the tree was so rotted away, the hornets were able to exploit this and create a second opening and did come out. A few of us who were working.
Check out the suits. That's what tells you not only how dangerous these creatures are, but how much protection you need against these things. Oh man.
Working very tight in the area, were approached by the hornets, and they did actually attempt to sting us this time.
Fortunately, no one was injured, but the hornets were trapped and their nest removed. Officials say they were led to the nest by a tracking device that they attached to a trapped hornet about a week earlier. They also received calls from people in the area reporting sightings of hornets. The WSDA asks people to continue to set traps and report sightings.
So like you see, well, I guess living right here in North America, we're about to start dealing with these things. But my hope is they find a way to either slow down their spread or just destroy them. I don't like using the word destroy, but they have to. Because if something is not meant for a particular habitat, then it should not be allowed there. Honestly shouldn't. There's a balance that we have in the natural world, and sometimes certain things cause an imbalance. That's exactly what this giant hornet would do if they would just allowed it to run rampant, because again, it's very, very aggressive. It comes in contact with people. It will unfortunately kill people because these things are that aggressive. They're not like bees where you can just use smoke or whatever. No, they will attack and keep attacking, and it's not a good thing. But anyway, I hope you've learned something here. I hope you've gotten something interesting with this video, something you can watch, share, hopefully subscribe to this channel. This channel hopefully will grow, and let's build a community that loves animals, all kinds of animals, and let it grow. Let's talk about it. Let's have fun and let Animal Tales become that incredible channel where you get to, again, come back to that love that we all have, that fascination and interesting and whatever, the eyes you have when you're so young, where everything that moves just grabs you. That's exactly what I want this channel to be, to bring back that childhood wonder, that sense of wonder where the world is just like an oyster. That's what I want for this channel. Anyway, like it, subscribe, let's talk about it. This has been Animal Tales, and I'll see you on the next episode. See you later, guys.